Hey y'all, welcome back for another tutorial, and I will be very clear that this tutorial is going to be a little bit tricky, a lot of confusion, and possibly even difficult for some of you depending on how quick you learn. But let's get right into it. So the boxes that I did recommend to buy come with a few things. These are just some of the things that come into the box, including these little gel pens and whatnot. So it also comes with double-sided tape, and it comes with this complicated ass, dyslexic ass freaking directions log. And must I add, please do not follow this shit because you will not understand it. At least I didn't. So I trashed that and I kind of YouTubed my way into getting the directions. But here we go. So when you open this, you're going to have a lot of different pieces to deal with. So you're just going to have to sort them out. You're going to go ahead and sort out the pieces based on what they look like. A lot of them look very confusing, but that is okay because in the end, it's very self-explanatory. So here I am just sort of like opening the pieces up and kind of like putting them together in piles so that I know what goes into what. And believe me, it's just as confusing as it looks, but I promise you, if you just follow the easy steps of just folding in the places that it has to go, you'll be better off and it'll be much easier to understand. Again, this took me a couple of tries before actually piecing together this box because I just really was just going that crazy over the millions of pieces that I was looking at and not understanding how this shit worked. So, welcome to the club. This heart thing, you don't really need it. You can use it, but you don't really need it. So here you're going to have your squares. These are going to go in the inside of the caps, or should I say the tops. There's different sizes. There should be 5 altogether. I believe 5. So that goes in the inside of the tops. And I'm going to go ahead and start off with these, I want to say. And just put them in order. These are just little flaps. You don't have to fold these. These are going to be the ones that are in the middle of the box. These are the smaller pictures. So you're just going to take those apart and you're going to put it just like that so that when you open it, the pictures kind of expand and it looks sort of like a fan effect kind of thing. So don't mind me. I'm over here just sorting out through the boxes. Again, this tutorial is going to be a little longer than normal, but that's only to assure that you get the shit done the right way. If you see a lot of confusion in any of these boxes or even how I'm assembling or even organizing, that is okay because I'm kind of confusing myself because I'm still trying to remember what all the boxes look like. I guess I'll start off with the tops. These are the tops. The tops look something like this. They have the little flappies and whatnot and the little, I don't even know how to explain it, but you can see when you get the box, you can see they look something like that. You're going to put them all in order and by size. Obviously, you're going to know the sizes because one is bigger than the other and so on and so on. Again, this is very self-explanatory. Just go ahead and fold on the creases like so. At first, I thought that the top part has to be folded in, and it's not. So I'm going to go ahead and fold it this way just to show you how not to do it, because that is how I did it in the beginning, and that is not how it works. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to fold once, then you're going to go ahead and fold twice, and then fold 3 times. And you're going to keep repeating this process all the way throughout the box. Now, the reason I'm showing you both methods is because originally I thought this was the way to do it, and it wasn't. And so it looked weird, and it wasn't holding the way that I wanted it to. I'm also going to be putting this box together without any tape and without any glue. Because, of course, I am just showing you how to put it together. I do not want to seal this box 100% yet. So go ahead and just take your flaps and just start folding downward like this, if you're able to even see or understand. If not, I'm sorry. I'm doing the best that I can due to what I have. So here I am again, trying to get a better angle. So go ahead and take the top part, fold it down again, So it should be in the inside. And then the little flaps on the side should go inside like that. Right? And you just repeat the step all the way around like so. Mind you, I'm showing you the incorrect way right now so that you know the difference of how not to do it. Because of course, in the end, you're obviously going to see what it's not supposed to look like and how it's not supposed to, how it's not going to hold if you don't do it that way. Now, you have two different options as far as sealing the box. I suggest using Elmer's glue sticks simply because it holds a little better than just double-sided tape. However, if you are not good with instructions and you mess up almost always, I think it's safer to use a double-sided tape. But the only downfall with the double-sided tape is that once you put it on, it will rip your box. So you have to kind of be careful where you're putting your double tape. As you can see, this is already done, but it's giving me a hard time staying in place. Obviously for two reasons. One, I didn't seal it with anything in particular like glue or tape. And because of course I did it wrong. So you're going to get your little flappy thing. I don't even know the name of what this shit is or what the shape is. But you take the proper size of these little things and you put it inside. Like so. So that is going to go inside of the top. These are actually the top pieces. But you see how it keeps coming apart? You don't want that to happen. You don't want to do it that way. So the correct way to do it, and I'm going to show you right now, is going to be, of course, folding the flap, fold, fold, and fold again. Now, when you're folding the flaps, you're going to fold in half, and you're going to fold the top of the flap up. Again, I'm doing it wrong here, but you're going to see how I kind of put together the box the right way. You see how the top flap is facing upward. See? So it's not tucked in. It's facing upward. And you can notice I'm doing it so much faster and it's so much easier and it's actually holding in place a little better. As you can see, I'm folding it down and the flap at the top is facing up. As you can see, the flaps at the top, that you're going to go ahead and you're going to glue those flaps down or tape those down, and then you're going to go ahead and put your piece in. See what I mean? So anyway, the choice is really up to you and the preference is all yours. And I'm going to go ahead and skip the next few tops because I've already showed you how to do them. Next step is going to be these pieces right here. These pieces, the good thing about these pieces is it's 2 in 1 and they are the same size. So yeah, you're going to have 2 different pieces of the same size. That means the photos for both of these pieces are going to be the same size as well. So you're just going to go ahead and you're going to take each piece, separate them, of course. Each piece, fold it on the side like this. That is where you're going to put either your tape or your glue and just fold it down. So when you open it, it's going to have like a little pocket. You can also put pictures in there to pull out. And you're just going to repeat that method for all 3 sides, just like this, right? Simple, simple. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to take the second piece and you're going to repeat that same method with the second piece as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Once you're done repeating that step with the second piece of paper and you're going to align them like so that it kind of looks like a little fan effect, you're going to go ahead and you're going to repeat that same method with the other 2 that are a slight bit smaller than the first 2 you just made. It's the same exact folding, the same exact method, just a little smaller, but it's still the same thing. So go ahead and do that and then we'll come back. Once you're done folding all of the pieces, you're just going to go ahead and align everything together, including all the other pieces that you have. You do not want to glue anything or tape anything together as of yet. You're just going to want to align everything so that you can see that everything is done correctly. You're going to take the other piece that you have. It's something little like this. And again, you're just going to go ahead and fold in all of the creases. This is pretty self-explanatory. This is going to be the little box that goes in the inside. This box, you're just going to, again, fold all of the creases, and it should look something like this when you're done. This box is going to be the very last box in the inside. This one does not open in any way like the other ones flap open. This one does not. Make sure you crease all of the creases, otherwise it's going to have like a weird shape to it. And again, do not glue or tape anything until you got it completely together, so you know where everything goes and how everything is put together for your own sake. So once it's done, it should look something like this, of course. And then you're going to go ahead and you put it in the middle of the box, just like that. So it should look something like this. So if you're wondering if you did it correctly, you're going to go ahead and you're going to take your caps or your tops, whatever you want to call them, and you're just going to close your boxes little by little, one by one, so that all of them fit in order, like so. You're just going to go ahead and put each size of the top on each one of the boxes and fold the little flaps in, and it should look something like this as you go along. That way you know everything is in its place, everything is the way that it should be done. And yeah, it's really just that easy. Well, really it's not, because I didn't think it was that easy at first. I think the most confusing part is going to be just knowing how to place it properly so that it fans out on top of each other. So again, be very careful when gluing and taping, because you want it to fan out in the end. Once you stack your box accordingly, it should be able to come out and look like this. Again, it's not taped or glued, so it's going to look a little funny. And it is going to be shifting positions, but you are going to just make sure that it fans out the way that it's supposed to. Yeah, and just play with it and put the positions where you want it to be or where you think it should be. There's no right or wrong way, and it's really not that complicated if you're going by the sizes. And it should look something like this. Next, I suggest for the best measurements, just go ahead and measure your pictures, height and width in each box. That way you're able to have the best size for each box. And then go ahead and just cut the sides or the corners with like a corner cutter. I'm going to include that in the link as well. But as you can see, that's exactly what I did. I measured the boxes, or should I say the space that I wanted the picture to be. And then after that, I went ahead and I just went over the pictures with a pen. They do have the gel pens in the pack, but I didn't use those. I used something different. I included the link to that as well. And just make it your own. You can just design it this way. You can design it whatever way you want. The last step is the caps or the tops. I don't know why I keep calling it caps or tops. But if you don't have a Cricut, this is an easier method you could do. Go ahead on Google and download something that you want the box to say. Like I went on Google and I downloaded the sayings for the tops. And I just went ahead and made them big enough to print on a different type of cardstock. As you can see, I used blue and I printed with black ink. And then I went ahead and I cut out the size of it with the actual pieces that go in the inside of the tops. I just used the size smaller than the actual top. So if the top was like the biggest one, I used the next size smaller just to make the cardstock that size. And basically that's all I did, honestly. And this is the quicker way. You could do it with vinyl. You could do it whatever way you want to. I suggest doing it the way that you want to do it. This is just the way that I did it. Mainly because I just didn't want to do the whole vinyl look thing on this. Again, this project is very simple. You just have to kind of know what you're doing when you're doing it and take your time doing it. As you can see, everything just fits perfectly fine the way it is. This is not a really complicated project, and it's really not that expensive. And one thing that I forgot to mention, if you want to make future boxes and don't want to waste so much money on the actual box, Do yourself a favor and buy yourself some poster board from Dollar Tree, the really big one, and trace out the actual shapes of the whole box. That way you have an extra box always laying around and you actually have the template for the whole box. And of course when you're done it should look something like this.
For all